I'm Elly. Today I'm going to read you a story called E.T. Are you ready to listen? Okay, I'm going to read you the story. E.T. It was the week before Halloween. Elliot wanted to play with his brother Michelle, but Michelle said no. Come on, guys, Elliot pleaded. I can fight goblins too. Just go get the pizza, Michelle said. Elliot went outside and paid the delivery man. On the way back inside, he heard a noise coming from the shed. Elliot lived near the forest. Sometimes coyotes wander into the shed, but these footprints didn't look like coyote tracks. And coyotes don't roll balls to kids. It definitely wasn't a coyote. Elliot tried to tell his family. There's a goblin in the shed, a real goblin. Where's the pizza? Michelle asked. No one believed Elliot's stories. The next day, Elliot went beyond the shed and into the woods looking for the goblin. He saw people with strange equipment searching for something. Were they looking for the goblin too? If they found it, what would they do to it? Elliot had to find the goblin first. That night, after everyone was asleep, Elliot left a trail of candy from the shed into his house, up the stairs and into his room. It turned out the goblin liked candy. The next day, Elliot introduced the goblin to Michelle and to his little sister Gertie. Michelle and Gertie quickly realized what Elliot had learned the night before. The goblin was kind and very smart. The kids were excited and curious about their new friend. He seemed too nice to be a goblin. Maybe he's a monkey, said Michelle. I don't like his feet, said Gertie. We are here. Home, Elliot said. Where are you from? The goblin pointed up the sky, and he used his powers and some fruits and vegetables to create a model of a solar system. The goblin wasn't a goblin at all. He was an extraterrestrial, an alien from another space. Elliot called him E.T. for short. Meanwhile, the people looking for E.T. was getting closer. The next day, the kids went off to school. Their mom was leaving for work, and she heard a noise coming from the closet. When she opened the door, all she saw was a stuffed animal. In here, E.T. After she left, E.T. had the house all to himself. He went exploring. First, he made friends with the local wildlife. Then he got something to eat. He found a toy to play with and something to read. He watched the television and learned about Earth's form of communication, all of which gave him an idea. If only he could find everything he needed. When Gertie came home, she taught E.T. the alphabet. B is for balloon, she said. B, E.T. said. Yes, Gertie said. B, good. Elliot came home much later and found E.T. in the closet. Gertie and E.T. were playing dress-up together. Elliot, E.T. said. I taught him to talk, Gertie bragged. Elliot found a box of items that E.T. had collected. He cut himself a saw blade. Ouch! Elliot yelped. Ouch! E.T. said. His fingers began to glow. E.T. touched his fingertip of Elliot's and the cut healed. Then E.T. showed Elliot and Gertie a drawing of something he wanted to build. It looked like a radio. Bone home, E.T. said. E.T. worked on his radio all night. Meanwhile, the people who were looking for E.T. were getting even closer. E.T. wanted his family to find him and take him home. But he had to hurry. E.T. wasn't meant to live on Earth. He was starting to feel sick. The next day was Halloween. It was the perfect time to get E.T. into the woods. He could use the radio to send a clear signal home. Michelle and Elliot pretend that E.T. was Gertie. Off they went into the streets in the broad daylight. No one suspected a thing. Some of the costumes made E.T. think of home. Away from other trick-or-treaters, Elliot and E.T. got on Elliot's bike and headed into the woods. When the ride got too bumpy, E.T. took over. Together they rose off the ground and soared through the sky. They landed in clearing an assembly to the radio. E.T. pointed it toward the sky as they sat down to wait. Elliot woke up cold the next morning. He and E.T. had been in the woods all night. By the time they got home, the people who were searching for E.T. were at Elliot's house. They were scientists and they wanted to learn about E.T. They put him in a box to bring him to their lab. As Elliot was saying goodbye, E.T.'s chest started to grow. E.T. phone home, E.T. said. Does this mean they're coming? Asked Elliot. Yes, said E.T. Elliot knew this was his last chance to help E.T. While the scientists were busy packing up their equipment, Elliot and Michelle snuck E.T. out of the house. Michelle and friends brought their bikes and they all raced to the woods. The scientists chased them. To escape, E.T. used his powers again, and all the boys soared up the sky. When they reached the forest, a giant spaceship was landing. Elliot was sad that his friend had to go. E.T. was sad too. The tip of E.T.'s fingers lit up, and he touched Elliot's forehead. I'll be right here, said E.T. Elliot knew he would always remember their extraordinary friendship. Extraordinary friendship. And this is the last page. Wow. Do you think real aliens are in outer space? But I think this is just a story. Okay, and today thank you for listening to my story. Okay, and thank you for watching this video. Bye!